Hey, this is Chris from Rekkid Talk, and so I'm doing my belated top 10 records for 2020. So I didn't start posting videos on this little channel until April 2021. Um, I just recently posted my top 21 of 2021, which is a long video, and I went back and re-listened to stuff and took it fairly seriously. This list is going to be much less serious. I didn't go back and do any re-listening. I just pulled up off of Discogs what I had bought in 2020, what I bought that came out in 2020. Some of these I got in 2020, many of them I got in 2021. So even if I had made a 2020 list a year ago, a lot of them wouldn't have even made the list. Maybe in December 2022, I'll do a list of the best records of 2021 I didn't hear until 2022. All right, let's get into it. Number 10, Sturgell Simpson, Cutting Grass, Volume 2, the Cowboy Arms Sessions. So for those that don't know, Sturgill Simpson released two sort of traditional bluegrass records in 2020. So this is the second one, Volume 2. Both of them have him riding around on this riding lawnmower on it. I just found the first one was a double album. This one was just a single album. The first one seemed to drag on, and I think the band just felt like they were more into the groove on the second one. Spoiler alert, I didn't put Volume 1 on my list. My number 9 is going to be something I rarely show, hip-hop. Run the Jewels 4 comes on this very cool-looking clear vinyl. Side 3, side 4, so obviously that's the second of the two discs. And so I actually kind of like hip hop, even though I own very little of it. Although I'll be honest, most modern hip hop, when I try to listen to it, stream it or whatever, just doesn't really grab me. I guess I'll probably be, if what I'll purchase hip hop wise is probably mostly going to be stuff from the classic era of hip hop. So you're not going to see a lot of hip hop on this channel. Number 8, Sunshine Boys, Work and Love. So this came out on Cheap Kiss Records. And so this is a Chicago-based sort of alternative pop band with some veterans of the industry. So the man in the middle, Dag Julin, most known for being in the band Poi Dog Pondering. So he's the guitarist and main vocalist. Jackie Schimmel plays bass. Frida Love is your drummer. And then Frida was also part of Mysteries of Life, which was one of my rarities that made the 2021 list. Her and her husband, Jake Smith. And she, of course, was in the Blake Babies and several other alternative bands of the past. So this puts me on number 7. Number 7, local favorite, SG, Sheena Goodman. Old Time Feelin', co-produced with Jim James from My Morning Jacket. So this is her debut solo album. She was a student at the university I worked at several years ago. And the first song on side 2, which is called The Way I Talk. And most of the albums, not all of them, but most of them that I'm showing are things that I've done videos on before. And The Way I Talk is just an outstanding song. If there were a couple more songs on this album that were up to that caliber, this could have been very much at the top of my list. But as it is, it's my number 7. My number 6 is going to be, I believe I just showed this yesterday for the animal covers contest. So we got the hawk and our coyote, and we've got Krungbin with Mordecai. So that great sort of Thai funk, whatever you want to call what Krungbin does, but very psyche. My number 5. Yeah, my number 5. I didn't really rehearse or write a script for this one. Is the Young English uh, alt rock singer songwriter Ibadube with Fake It Flowers. And yes, Ibadube is kind of a goofy name. It was kind of like her screen name online. Beatrice is her actual first name. And so this is very 90s sounding female vocals, alt rock. She's got that girlish voice. There's definitely and girlish voice, loud guitars, angsty lyrics. So I kind of like that. My number 4, Fiona Apple, Fetch the Bolt Cutters. The critics love this album. Everyone talks a lot about Fiona Apple. With good reason in this case. She doesn't put out albums that often, but when she does, they are pretty damn good. Purple vinyl. Number 3, and I did make a video about this one. So this is Tanya Donnelly and the Parkington Sisters. Came out on American Laundromat Records. This might be something that would be fun to run down. It is a covers record. So Tanya Donnelly is probably most known for being in Belly. She was in the first iteration of The Breeders. She was in Throwing Muses with her stepsister, Kristen Hirsch. And then the various Parkington sisters. They play... So Rose Parkington, vocals, acoustic guitars, piano, ebow. Sarah Parkington, vocals, violin, viola. Ariel Parkington, vocals, violin, viola. Lydia Parkington, cello. So it's a whole group of sisters that play mostly string instruments. So it's pretty mellow, laid back stuff. But you have like Automatic, which was I think that was a Go-Go song. Dance Me to the End of Love by Leonard Cohen. There's a Kinks song. There's a Echo and the Bunnymen song, a Wings song, a Pretenders song, Different Drum, which Michael Nesmith, who recently passed away, wrote. Linda Ronstadt obviously did the famous version, song by Neil Finn. And so not as famous as Fiona Apple, but very good. My number 3. Number 2, this is another staple of most 2020 lists, is Phoebe Bridgers' Punisher. And so she's, of course, probably one of the most known of the young batch of female singer-songwriters out there. She's maybe not great at smashing her guitar, if you remember her trying to do that, but the song Kyoto alone is probably enough to make the list. It's my number 2. But my number 1, let's get some guys who rock. Local H lifers. One of my I think it was the second video I ever made, I think was on this particular record. So it's on this very nice red and black splattered vinyl. So it's a 2-disc set. And so when you listen to this and you realize this is a 2-piece band, it's kind of astounding. So the leader, Scott Lucas, you would probably know them from their 90s song, Born to Be Down. They kept on singing the word copacetic in it. You just can't get it. You keep it copacetic. So he plays guitar and sings, and his guitar is strung in such a way that he basically is playing the bass at the same time. He's got this massive pedal setup, and then there's a drummer. That's it. But they make a lot. It's a lot more complex than, say, what the White Stripes are doing with their 2 people. And so you've got some cool sort of alt rock pop songs like Winter Western. Gianna Hatfield sings backup on that. Patrick Bateman. But you've got some epics as well. Beyond the Valley of Snakes, there's a cool video for that, 7 minutes. Defiant Surrenders over 10 minutes, but it's good. And so if you haven't given Local H a try recently or ever, Local H lifers, my number 1 for 2020. We're in just under 10 minutes.